Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us for another edition of the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Let's begin with our headlines. The president of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, has reassured Cameroonians and the president of the Republic, Paul Biya, this Tuesday, December 21st, that the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations will go on according to plan. Nkoto Sitomi, a Cameroonian Bikutsi artist, is no more. Born on August 25, 1959, in New Bel, a district of Douala, he died some few minutes ago at the Curie Hospital here in Yaoundé. Those were our headlines. We'll be right back. The Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manawuda Malashi, has confirmed a COVID-19 free Africa Cup of Nations. He was speaking this morning during a visit to the various national vaccination centers in the nation's capital city, where he encouraged all Cameroonians to continue visiting the center in order to kick the pandemic out of Cameroon. Our reporter Bertrand Tita was in the minister convoy and brought back the following report.
The ravaging COVID-19 pandemic is still very present in the country, though Cameroonians go about their daily businesses like it were history. The non-respect of barrier measures instituted by the Ministry of Public Health and the World Health Organization is gaining ground as days pass by. To guarantee a COVID-free Africa Cup of Nations, the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manawuda Malachi, was at the various national vaccination centers in Yaoundé to assess the speed at which Cameroonians have adhered to the national call for vaccination.
The head of state all measures to guarantee the doses of vaccine for all Cameroonians which can take this vaccine. And when we see the progression of this campaign, we see that Cameroonian is much regarding to the vaccine, is much interest for this vaccine, and we are taking all measures to guarantee these doses to our compatriots.
Confirming that it's imperative to get vaccinated without being persuaded, hundreds of Cameroonians keep visiting the centers.
Having a multiplicity of the cases of COVID-19, and no matter how much you want to resist taking the vaccine at a point in time, you want to yield to say, okay, let me also do like everybody else. My message is clear. We want to trust the medics. We want to trust those who have fabricated or manufactured this vaccine. And we believe, like all other vaccines that we have been taking and giving out to our children, these two should work.
The ravaging nature of the pandemic can never be underestimated.
I had COVID 2 months ago, and I didn't know about what COVID. I heard about it, and sometimes I doubted, and now I had it. As I posted on Facebook that I was sick, and I thanked the Lord Jesus who healed me. But this is the problem. I was sick again a few days ago, and the doctor requested another test for COVID. And this morning, I came and made a test, and you can see I'm negative.
Minister Manawuda Malachi, after his contactor, is confident that the 2021 AFCON will be COVID-19 free.
We have take all measures. We can do all our best to have an AFCON free COVID-19. Regarding to the airports, I know you are referring the incident we have this latest day. I think we have to notice that all measures has taken in the airport to systematically test and screen all passengers.
To completely kick the pandemic out of our society to save lives and livelihood, Cameroonians are encouraged to visit the centers nationwide on daily basis to get the vaccine, which is free of charge and very effective.
The rate of theft and robbery in Yaoundé, capital city of Cameroon, during this festive period is at its peak as the criminals have adopted new techniques to get material stuffs and as well as money from citizens. It is very common to get into a taxi with your handbag and highlight from it with nothing left inside. Our reporter, Rod Fonyong, caught up with some Yaoundé city dwellers regarding the issue. Let's take a listen.
We experience different forms of aggression in taxis, such as one's phone being sneaked out of the pocket. Sometimes the driver plans something out with a passenger. They arrange themselves to create a scene, and you only discover they have dealt with you when it's too late. And it regularly occurs these days, given that it is the festive period. Everyone is looking for what to eat, no matter the means.
Lack of jobs, impatience and laziness are said to be some of the reasons why people indulge in stealing. Yaoundé, the capital city of Cameroon, has recorded an uncountable number of such cases, especially during this festive period.
I've been harassed once during, I think, last 2 months, around Post Central. In the taxi, when I was in the taxi, I had my phone with me, and there are some young guys around Post that are always there waiting to snatch phones from people. So my phone was snatched by one guy, PM, and then when I got out of the car, he ran, and there's a tunnel in Post Central, a tunnel. He ran, and that tunnel is always open to permit water to drain it, so they never close it. So they have used that as their exit, as their outing point, exit point when they steal. So he entered that tunnel and disappeared, and that was it.
In taxis, there are several techniques that these thieves use. Sometimes the driver plans a coup with his friend who also sits in the vehicle like a passenger.
One needs to be very careful before boarding a car. One needs to carefully observe, and social media platforms also inform us of different criminal actions which we can come across. So one needs to be careful, attentive before stepping in, given that nothing can be done after that act.
As such, city dwellers have been advised to be more careful when taking a taxi because one never knows when these thieves will strike.
The presidential couple has reached out to over 300 kids in 32 nursery schools in the Murphy division of the West region of Cameroon. The package was handed over recently by Mrs. Chantal Bia's personal representative while wishing the children a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We have details of this story with Bertrand Tita.
The presidential couple has put smile on the faces of young ones through the 7th edition of Christmas tree celebration in nursery sectors in the Murphy division of the West region of Cameroon. Initiated by Professor Ngwehe Kante, Deputy Secretary General at the Prime Minister's Service, the occasion was presided by his wife, Madame Ngwehe Kante. Through choral music, these young Cameroonians from the nursery sector received the convoy led by Mrs. Lee Estelle Ngwehe Kante, special representative of the presidential couple, who came along with gifts to children of the different nursery schools in the Murphy division. The First Lady, Mrs. Chantal Bia, in her usual humanitarian gesture, did not end at the level of gift, but some words of advice was equally transmitted to the leaders of tomorrow.
Our staff and parents are very happy to receive the gifts from the First Lady of Cameroon. So we thank the state, we thank the First Lady for this gesture, and we hope that it will continue soon. We also thank the minister through the wife, or the government through the first lady, to choose our school, to choose to come our school. And with that, children are very happy, parents are happy, and the staffs are happy. So we thank very much for this gift, and the children are very happy. We ourselves, we are also happy.
A total of 3,000 children from 32 nursery schools in Bafoussam, chief town of the West region, received the gifts. Some of the schools that benefited from the gesture were nursery schools of Baleng in the Bafoussam 2 subdivision, Mbapi Chiefdom, Nchingchap, Ntoi, and the Bafoussam 3 subdivision, nursery school of Mbi, Kwele Lena Military Camp, without forgetting denominational schools like the Catholic Kindergarten Sante Cecile de Kugu, where same messages were communicated. This act of generosity of Mrs. Shantabia, woman with a big heart, is to put smile on the faces of young Cameroonians. A salutary gesture for their supervisors joined the children to extend a sincere gratitude to Madame Shantabia for the humanitarian gesture.
And onto our obituary page, Nkoto Sidoni, a Cameroonian Bikutsi artist, is no more. He died some few minutes ago at the Curie Hospital here in Yaoundé. Born on August 23, 1959 in Newbel, a district of Douala, Koto Tombi Francois was a Cameroonian singer who renewed Bikutsi in the 1980s after mixing with Afrobeat influences in the Beti language. One of his tracks which made him famous was Metil Wa. The 62-year-old Bikusi legend quits the scene, leaving many albums of an unbeatable number of tracks. Let's now take a listen to one of his pieces. May his soul rest in peace. And on to something else. The Minister of State Property, Survey and Land Tenure, Henri Eyebe has today held an enlarged consultation meeting with partner ministries and other professionals on the possibility of implementing a one-stop shop, which is one of the recommendations from the Cameroon Business Forum previously held in Yaoundé, as Janne tells us in the following report.
Bringing together members of the Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure, members of the National Chambers of Notaries, as well as professionals and members of partner ministries this Tuesday, was an enlarged consultation to discuss on the accomplishment of registration formalities within 72 hours of a one-stop shop, which is the concretization of recommendations made from the Cameroon Business Forum held in the economic capital Douala on March 2018.
The aim of the one-stop shop is first of all to make sure that the registrations of the deed that was previously done at the level of two different administrations, that is first of all fiscal administration, and secondly land administration, will be in the future done at the level of the one-stop shop. Okay, so this will help to simplify the procedures. This will help to alleviate the cost or the charges on the frame of our procedures. This will also help in increasing the state land revenue.
The consultation held at the conference room of the Ministry of State Property, Survey and Land Tenure was chaired by the boss of the Ministerial Department, Harry Eyebe Aisi, which was a forum for him to have constructive exchanges with all the principal stakeholders on the possibilities of implementing the one-stop shop in the major cities of Douala and Yaoundé. To the notaries, it is indeed a welcome initiative.
I can say is that this meeting is very important because it's the occasion to we notary to talk with our partner, Minister of Affaires Foncières, because Affaires Foncières is all about land title, and the specificity of notary profession is land title. By meeting every time to talk about, I think it's the best thing to doing well what we have to do.
Worthy of note is the fact that the Mincaf Minfi one-stop shop is expected to answer a couple of questions, notably the accomplishments of the fiscal registration formality within 72 hours for the conservation of land tenure, the electric declaration of payments, among many others.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you're watching the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Let's now talk sport, where the president of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, has reassured Cameroonians and the president of the Republic, Paul Biya, this Tuesday, December 21st, 2021, that the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations will go on according to plan, that is from the 9th of January to the 6th of February 2022. He also magnified President Paul Biya's effort in endowing the country with modern football infrastructure that will make the African continent proud in the forthcoming football fiesta. We have details of this story with Isaac Ngonkum.
At a time when speculations on a possible postponement of the 2021 AFCON in Cameroon arrive, CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe is currently sojourning in Yaoundé. Upon his arrival yesterday, he visited the Olembe Stadium, where he reassured the continent on the effective hosting of the football fiesta in January and February next year.
Well, I'm here from January 7th, and if I'm here January 7th, I'm here 7.
Yes,
7.
Okay.
Everybody must be here 7. So come January 9, they must kick off.
He commended the metamorphosis the Olembe Stadium had undergone since his last inspection visit.
And I am so proud and so excited about the work that has been done. And you can see that there's a huge commitment and a focus to make sure that some of those issues that are being put in place in the next few days, good progress.
In collaboration with the governments of Cameroon, CAF is hopeful the 2021 AFCON will be one of the best ever organized on the continent.
We are going to host, in partnership with the government of Cameroon, the people of Cameroon, CAF, that's why I've got my brother here, the Vice President, and I've also got the General Secretary. And I'm very proud to have our very own new president, brand new president, Edo. And makes us so proud, so proud. And we are ready to show the world the best of African football, but also the best of African hospitality, and the best of, we are, Africans are a caring and a loving people. So it's going to be a successful AFCON. The most successful.
He also had a strong message for skeptics in Cameroon and beyond.
We have to stop being the ones that lack confidence and are always expressing skeptical, negative views of our own people. All over the world, there are competitions where there are challenges and sometimes people get 95%. We have to be more optimistic. And sometimes we are overcritical of ourselves. If we are not going to have confidence in our people, who's going to have confidence in our people?
Despite the pressure from the European Clubs Association and FIFA, Cameroon is holding on to her organization of the 33rd edition of the Football Frenzy. The President of the Republic, Paul Biya, and Dr. Patrice Motsepe of CAF met in a tete-a-tete discussion this Tuesday. Expectations are high as all ears are turned towards the Unity Palace in Yaoundé.
Let's now listen to Dr. Patrice Motsepe in an excerpt speaking shortly this evening after his meeting with His Excellency President Paul Biya, in an excerpt carefully selected by Isaac Ngonkom.
On the 9th of January, we will kick off. We must all make sure that we engage and advance the interests of our people. Today it's about football because we love football and we are passionate about football. And we want to work with the rest of the world. We want to work with Europe, China, America, and the rest of the world. We must always identify problems and challenges and not shy away from them. But we must also have the confidence and the belief that we can overcome them and deal with them in a responsible and accountable manner. So we have said nobody will be allowed into the stadium without a PCR test, because we have to protect those spectators will be there. And of course there's a concern that there'll be lots of fake tests going around. We are dealing with those issues.
Let's now take you out of the country, where drone and air strikes have killed at least 38 people and 80 injured in a targeted market at the Alamanta town in Ethiopia's Tigray region. We have this story and more in the following report. Drone and air strikes have killed at least 38 people this Tuesday, December 21st, in Ethiopia's Tigray region in a targeted market in the town of Alamanta. According to the head of security for Alamanta, drones attacked the market and killed more than 38 people and more than 80 people injured. Most of these people were buyers and vendors in the market. The head of the security added that attacks started since last Wednesday and lasted for 3 consecutive days. The government and various rebel groups have, however, been involved in fighting in Tigray for over a year. The World Health Organization chief called on Monday for the world to pull together and make the difficult decisions needed to end the COVID-19 pandemic within the next year. According to him, getting back to normal, everyone needs to protect themselves now as cases fueled by the fast-spreading Omicron variant surge. Since it was first reported in South Africa in November, Omicron has been identified in dozens of countries, dashing hopes that the worst of the pandemic is over. Despite indications it is not more severe than the Delta variant still, the dominant strain Omicron has been shown in early data to have higher transmissibility and a worrying resistance to vaccine. Nevertheless, the chief concluded that the world needed to end the glaring inequity in access to vaccine, and to end the pandemic in the coming year, there is a great need to end inequity. Some school districts across the United States are sending students and staff home for the holidays with coronavirus tests as Americans report increasing difficulty securing them just days away from Christmas. Marin County schools in California, Chicago public schools are among the systems providing students with at-home test kits ahead of the holidays in an effort to help identify infections and allow children to return to school in the new year. Meanwhile, Omicron is already having an impact in higher education as some colleges. Public health experts have therefore recommended that even fully vaccinated Americans who plan to gather with other households indoors for the holidays should consider getting tested beforehand. And that was it for our 6 p.m. English news, ladies and gentlemen. Before leaving with you, a recap of our major stories. The President of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, has reassured Cameroonians and the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, this Tuesday, December 21st, that the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations will go on according to plan. Nkodo Sitoni, a Cameroonian Bikusi artist, is no more. Born on August 25, 1959, in New Bel, a district of Douala, he died some few minutes ago at the Curie Hospital here in Yaoundé. Desiree Trésor Mbouné will be with you when it's exactly 8 p.m. for news in the French language. But until then, do stay tuned to interesting programs over the Republican television. Thanks for watching.